Hello, this is Jason P. Wilson 01 X-Force, and this is my both DC and Marvel pull list for the week of May 25th, 2011. Today is the 26th, and it's Thursday. Okay, so first up, I made a few cuts this week. I don't want to make any cuts, but I had to, and I cut Captain America and Zartana, which both came out this week, so I did not pick those up. Those are both comics I had jumped on recently, so it was easier to cut those loose. And every week I'll probably be doing that. I'll be making a choice, like what I'm gonna cut from that week. So we'll go ahead and start here with my Marvels, and that is first, Amazing Spider-Man number 662. Look, Spider-Man is great. Amazing Spider-Man is a must, and so is Ultimate Spider-Man. That's why those are the two Spider-Man books I do get. And Spider-Man is kind of a balancing act, I think, because if you only get a couple comics, then it's great, because it comes out all the time. I mean, like, more than any other comic, Amazing Spider-Man comes out the most often. It has come out every week for, I think, like the past 6 weeks. So that's great, right? You're getting a lot of Spider-Man, and even though some teams are better than others, for me anyway, I've enjoyed all of them, even though I don't like the way they write Spider-Man sometimes. All in all, I enjoy reading them. Spider-Man is one of my favorite characters of all time, so that's great. But because I get a bunch of other comics, Spider-Man is a bit of a thorn, because I literally, if I cut Amazing Spider-Man, that would make room for 4 other comic books, because it comes out every week. And most others, with the exception of maybe Incredible Hulk, most others come out once a month. And then there are others like Ultimate X, which comes out like every other month if we're lucky. So Spider-Man is Amazing Spider-Man. I actually enjoyed this run. This is a 2-issue run. It's a team up with Avengers Academy. The last one was really good, and I kind of glanced through this one. This one looks equally as good. So this ends a story arc, and next is a team that a lot of people have been anticipating. They're going to be doing the next issue of Amazing Spider-Man, and it's going to be having Anti-Venom, and a lot of people are looking forward to that. And of course it comes out next week, because it comes out every week. So now I have to decide, am I going to keep Amazing Spider-Man that comes out every week at $3.99, or am I going to stop and just maybe try to get it later? So I'm not sure, but I do recommend it. And that kind of connects to the next one, which is Venom number 3. Now Venom only comes out once a month, and it's actually a better price, $2.99. It's done by the same writer that does Uncanny X-Men. Uncanny X-Force. So I'm definitely a fan of that, and I am a fan of the new Venom. The last 2 issues have been great. The thing is this, like, if I get Venom, it's a great book to get with Amazing Spider-Man, especially with Spider Island coming up. Venom is supposedly going to have a really big part to play in Spider Island, and obviously Amazing Spider-Man. So these are great comics to get together. So I gotta decide, am I gonna keep one, keep both? Not sure. And I'm not even sure if Spider Island is going to be a separate comic to be picked up, or is it just going to be a long-running story arc going through Amazing Spider-Man, Venom, and probably Spider-Girl. So, and probably FF too. So I don't know that. If anybody out there knows, maybe you can let me know. That'll help me make my decision. But looking forward to reading Venom. Next up is a comic that I've been wanting to pick up for a long time. This is a character that I really like, and I've read trades of Deadpool, and I picked up like team ups, Deadpool team up, and some Deadpool one shots, like Deadpool Family and his miniseries that pop out every once in a while. Now I know a lot of people think Deadpool is kind of becoming like Wolverine, which is he's being overused. So I thought, well, gosh, if I'm going to be reading any of the books, I probably, even though I've enjoyed the other books of Deadpool, I probably should stick with the main Deadpool. And since the last story arc just ended with him being in space, which I have not picked up yet, but I did glance through them, and they looked hilarious. And anyone who doesn't read Deadpool, all you really need to know is what's usually on the cover. You can tell what kind of comic book you're about to read by the artwork that is on most of the covers of Deadpool. And this one with the new story arc with the Hulk. So I glanced through this as well, and basically, in a nutshell, Deadpool has decided that he wants to die because he thinks it might be pretty cool, and that he doesn't know how to die because, he's almost unkillable. So he figures he'll go ahead and give the Incredible Hulk a reason to kill him, because he figures that if anyone can, probably the Incredible Hulk can. And this is a great picture of him sticking his gun up the nose of the Incredible Hulk after taking a shot or two. The steam of the gun coming through his other nostril and his mouth, and he's counting down 3, 2, 1 because he assumes he's about to be smashed. And of course he has his last will there pinned to his shirt. Deadpool, hilarious. So I thought, you know what? I know I'm making cuts, but I would like to add Deadpool to my pull list. So this is my first issue of singles, and I did add it to my saver. Next up is one of my favorite comics, and that is Incredible Hulks. And this is I'm not sure if it's the last or getting close to being the last of this run, but it's the run with Red She-Hulk, his estranged wife. So I really have been liking it. I always like Incredible Hulk. Unlike Amazing Spider-Man, I have enjoyed every issue of Incredible Hulk, and they do a really good job. Not to say Amazing Spider-Man isn't fantastic sometimes, because it is, but it definitely is more of a hit and miss, where Incredible Hulk's is really, for me, a really solid, always good comic. I hope I didn't jinx it now, but it's always great. Now, I did drop Hulk's a while ago, actually, and there is a story arc coming up on the next issue, I believe, starting next week, with Red Hulk kind of going to another planet, kind of his. I don't know if it's the same planet or not. I would say probably not, but he basically is going to have his own, Planet Hulk kind of a thing. It looked actually pretty cool. So that's a $3.99 comic. Again, blows my mind that Hulk's, which is Red Hulk's comic, is $3.99, and the Incredible Hulk, which is the original, is $2.99. I can't figure out how they decided to do that, but I am thinking about maybe picking that up. And looking forward to reading that, of course, as always. Next up is another one of my favorites, and that is FF. This is FF number 4, and actually, it's for a new comic. It's coming out often. Now that is good. I'm not going to have the same complaint I had with Amazing Spider-Man coming out too often, but FF I'm enjoying probably as much of my Marvel comics as Uncanny X-Force, and those would be my two top favorite Marvels. So I am totally fine with them coming out quickly. That's great. And I know a lot of you have been thinking the same way. In fact, I've mentioned before that I think they write Spider-Man right now better than the writers in Amazing Spider-Man. So, looking forward to this. The story has been getting really good, and I think this story arc is going to be a few more issues, but looks great. And last in my pull list is my first and only of my DC comics this week, and that is Detective Comics Batman, number 877. Detective Comics, I've said this many times, is probably my number one favorite comic, period, in either Marvel or DC. And this team that's taken over, the same team that's done American Vampire, they are fantastic, and they fit with Detective Comics perfectly. And this is their second story arc, and I believe it was only a 2-issue story arc, which is a little disappointing because I really like the last issue. But I look at covers coming up. I see covers before they come out, and I was looking forward to this cover. And then on the front of my issue is something that kind of ruins my cover, which is the Green Lantern advertisement for the movie coming out June 17th. I love Green Lantern. I am definitely going to be there opening night when it comes out, but I don't necessarily like advertising on the front of my comic. Now, I kind of understand when like comics like this, well, they'll advertise their upcoming, event on their comic. That's fine, but I don't necessarily want movie advertisements or whatever on the front of my comics. Maybe that's one of the drawbacks to DC's drawing a line at $2.99. If that's the case, I'm willing to have advertisements on the front, whatever you want. But this is a really cool cover, and it kind of messes up the whole look of it. With that said, I love this comic. I love this team. I really hope this team stays with Detective Comics for a very long time. I don't know how long they're planning on staying or not, but whoever takes on after they're done with the run, if it ever ends, which I hope it doesn't, they're going to have a really huge shoes to fill, because I love Detective Comics with this team. Alright, with that said, that is my poll list, and like always, if there's any of these comics that you would like me to post a review of, just let me know. I'd love to hear from you, and I'd be happy to do that. Also, what comics have you guys gotten this week? I'd love to hear from you. Also, because I'm choosing, I'd love to hear maybe if you're making cuts in your comics because of things, gas prices and all that kind of stuff. Or if you guys are adding comics. And if you are, what comics are you reading? I would love to know. Great. And thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time.